All right, I haven't been able to say this in a very, very long time, but we are joined by our guy, our buddy. I call him Skinny B. That's what I call him now. Barrett Brooks. Look at you, man. You
Look
are
at
looking good, my man.
What's going on, man? Yeah, I had to shed a couple of LBs, man. I had to shed a couple of LBs. How's it going?
Dude,
looking
I'm
good,
telling
man.
you look great. We were flipping around. Maybe it was a pregame on Sunday, right? And Maggie and I are on the couch, and Maggie's like, "Whoa, look at Barrett. He looks awesome." So you get the love from the female demographic, Barrett. She's digging the look, man.
Yeah, I lost 92, man. 92, bro. So
Nice.
you know, health is wealth, man. Health is definitely wealth.
Awesome.
I told you stop eating White Castles. Look what it would do for you. I tried to tell you this.
I hate to say you're right about that, but
Oh, okay. We've come a long way. Oh my God. All right. Yes.
a long way, man. I can't do the White Castles anymore, man. It'll tear me up, bro. So sad day. It was a sad day when I ate the White Castles. It was a sad day that my body said no, not no, but hell no.
Oh,
So.
man. Yeah, that's well. You know what though? You're a better man for it, Barrett, and we miss you. First off, and thanks for hanging with us. We appreciate it.
Definitely.
Give me your. Let's start with the last game because Derek and I weren't too thrilled with the way it went down. But you know, whether it was the play calling, letting a bad team hang around, you know, the way it kind of shook out, and just that loss to the Jets. What's your best assessment of what happened?
Most disappointing thing is I saw a Jets team that wanted it more than we did. They wanted to win. They wanted to kick our tail, and that's what they did. They wanted to out-physical us. They weren't worried about winning or losing. They just wanted to whip us physically. They rallied around their coach and kissed everybody on our squad 11 times when they were on the field. And that's what it was. You know what I mean? It's sad to say that I would have never thought that I would have, say that about this Eagles team, because this Eagles team is talented. You know, this is by far the most talented Eagles team I've seen in a while. It's just, even more talented than last year. But they wanted it more than this Eagles team. So, I mean, nothing I can say about that. I mean, kudos to their coach, kudos to them going out there and imposing their will on us and making it happen. I mean, of course, there are things that, we could have done better. I mean, Lane Johnson, once he left the game, it went at anyways on the offensive side of the ball because we couldn't protect the quarterback. Say what you want to say. Once Lane went down, you've got to help your right tackle. And Driscoll just is not that good of a player to go one-on-one and try to run the same offense that you ran when Lane was there. That's the bottom line. That's what it is.
Barrett, I had said in a number of ways the Eagles were lucky to be 5-0. When you look at some of the trends across the board that got them to 5-0, when you look at least three of those games, certain plays could have decided the outcome differently. And when you have certain trends that are consistent like that, those could be prolonged problems down the road. And then we saw things even more exposed in this Jets game. I didn't think the Jets could hold this team from scoring a point in the last 2+ quarters. The turnovers, the inefficiency in the red zone. And the red zone in particular, I'm just shocked by this. What are you seeing in terms of their lack of execution in the red zone?
I think it's more so, it's play selection has a lot to do with that. A lot to do with them trying to protect Jalen Hurts and not wanting him to run as much, and I understand that. You just can't open your full book of plays because you want to protect your quarterback. So, we're not running the same things we ran last year. We ran a lot of QB draws, QB powers, things of that nature in which we highlighted his skill set of being able to run. Right. They're a little more hesitant to run those type of plays now because they understand it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long season. We got a bunch of so at this point you don't want to get them beat up right now. But you expect some results if you're not running some plays that got you results that you had last year. But also, new play callers, new guys, calling the plays. Say what you want to say, Brian, he was here last year. They ran the office, but he wasn't the offensive coordinator. He wasn't calling plays every single play. So now you have a new guy who's learning his players, learning what he does right, what he does wrong, and being more detailed on how he can use these weapons that he has effectively. I mean, it's hard. We by far have the most talented team in the NFL. You know what I mean? As far as receivers, tight end, running back, quarterback, and offensive line. I mean, there's by far, I don't think there's a more talented team, even more talented than the 49ers, even more talented than the Chiefs, even more talented than the Bills. You name it, we have a better team. But it's just about getting those things on the right pace, getting those things going in the right direction. So I think that's the biggest thing. In the red zone, we got to have better play selection, and we can't continue to keep we can't continue to keep Jalen Hurts with his hands tied behind his back. Let him be who he is. He can govern them that he doesn't hurt himself. You know, he'll get down like he's been doing, but you still got to run those plays in order to keep these wins going, because we're about to hit a gauntlet of great teams, and we got to be ready to play just as hard as them. Now I know that we will not play down to the level of competition like we did this last game with the Jets. Now these guys will be ready to go. They're going to be ready to go against a Miami team, a Bills team, a Chiefs team, a 49ers. They'll be ready to rock and roll against Dallas. And that'll be the difference, in the effort you'll see going into these next couple games.
Barry, let me ask you about the defensive side. I don't mean the defensive line, which has been really good. I mean the back end. Like, is this sustainable to hold up against those teams you're talking about with the talent level they have, inexperienced, banged up, et cetera? I mean, what do you do here to overcome that? Do they make a move? What happens?
Got to make a move, because Blankenship is our best safety. And I mean, we're talking about a free agent safety that made the squad last year and is now starting for us. Not saying anything about Blake. Reed is a smart player. He knows how to play this game. I love how he plays. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about us having a bona fide starting safety back there. We don't have that big play guy. We have a guy that's very consistent in Blankenship. Blankenship plays the game the way it's supposed to be played. He doesn't take any false steps. He makes his reads. He's reactive. He gets guys in the right places. But we don't have that big time guy back there that, like a honey badger or somebody that can go make plays. We have a bunch of guys back there. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a bunch of guys back there, but you don't have the week in, week out guys playing there every single week. It's been musical chairs. I mean, last game, we had one starting DB on the field in the fourth quarter, and that was Brad. There were no other starters. We had all free agents starting for us. All free agents were out on the field with the exception of Bradbury. All free agents. So it's tough, it's tough to really go out there. And I got to take my hat off to Desai. Desai has put together a defense that's, the Jets didn't do anything against us. We held a running game, to under 100 yards. He did everything to stop. And that's a major reason why I was kind of disappointed also, because if Jalen shouldn't have thrown that pick, we know that was just a bad pass.
Right.
But I didn't have a problem with punting to them and having them try to take this team, 60 yards, 70 yards. I mean, they wouldn't be able to do that, and Hassan Reddick was starting to heat up too. And, the big fella, Big Davis, was heating it up. They wouldn't have been able to score against us, So I thought we'd have won that game. Number one, if we wouldn't have missed that field goal, which blew me away, because then we'd be up by 5 instead of 2. And they'd had, you really think that they'd be able to drive down and score a touchdown on us? No. And Wilson, the receiver, was out also. The game would have been a wrap. It'd have been a wrap.
Hey, Barrett, has Jalen Carter been everything we thought he would be and then some?
Bro, he is a top 5. You hear me? A top 5 defensive tackle right now in the NFL. Top 5, no question. His ability to go out there and play at the level he's playing. And mind you, you got to understand, he's playing like a veteran player. He understands what the offenses are trying to do to him. He understands how to take on blocks, double teams. He hits the post guy and then throws his butt in the way so he doesn't get moved by the guy that's supposed to displace him. He knows how to play the game, and he's playing at such a high level that I'm just shocked that we got him in pick number 9. I mean, I'm serious. He was seriously the best player in college last year, no question. No question.
And Barry, stay with his partner there. The growth of Davis from year 1 to year 2, man. I mean, you're seeing him effective in the pass game and the run game. He has really taken his game to that complete level.
He is playing like a monster. You can't move him. If he doesn't want to be moved, he will not be moved. He's getting jump. He's getting penetration, not just on run plays, but on pass plays also. He is deboing people. He's throwing people around. This is what I envisioned Davis doing when we first drafted him. it took him a year to get here, but he is here now.
Mhm.
There's no question, that when you got those three guys in there, you're not running against us. You're not doing that. You're not moving us anywhere we don't want to be moved. And with the way he's playing, the way that Carter's playing, and Fletcher Cox, drinking that concoction he's drinking, or whatever he's the fountain of youth, or whatever he's got going on, it's going to be hard for you to really do things up front against this Eagles team. And then the linebacker position is a lot better than I thought they was going to be.
Yeah.
Morrow and also Dean are playing well, which really shocked. These guys are playing well. So this defense, once they get that secondary, locked down and stop playing musical chairs, because injuries just killing us right now, we could have a really special defense.
Do you think Slay's lost a step?
No, they just can't use them the way they want to use them right now. Slay is just as much. Slay comes to playing defense against. They hate him because he's so talented. He's still got that step. They just haven't used him like they used him last year. He travels every once in a while with the best receiver. Usually they can't really do that because Josh Jobe has been playing. And at this point he's not ready to be a full-time starter. He can come in and spell you, but he's not a full-time starter right now. So it's really hard for them to run a defense that they want to run. It's really hard for them.
Barrett, what do you do? And I'm not going to say stop. What do you do to contain this Miami offense, man? I mean, what McDaniel's drawing up, Tua, the Cheetah, Mostert. I mean, they're running wild on everybody here. What do you do to slow this thing down?
Tough, because you got to think about this. They already have a game plan against playing too deep. When you play too deep, you try to rally around, and keep, the Cheetah from getting behind you. But when you do that, they move them around so much in motion and line them up in a slot. They don't let you get an accurate beat on where he's going to be, which makes it hard to double team him or bracket coverage him. So, I think the best thing they can do is play a matchup zone. It becomes your zone, latch onto them. So you can't play too high also, because then they run the ball against you. And Mostert's just as fast as the Cheetah. So it's really hard, and I want to see how they're going to do that against Tua. Do you light them up? You send a blitz. They're going to have to blitz him and just hope that whoever ends up with the Cheetah and Waddle, he's not open instantly so Tua can get him the ball. It's almost like you got to play tight on him, but not let them run away from you. So it's going to be hard, but I mean, as far as talented, the guys up front got to be a major, major difference. And Davis, even when you're not getting there, you got to use your size to knock balls down. Crush the pocket and knock balls down. It's not necessarily going in and tackling Tua or sacking Tua. It's more so getting your hands up and stopping those passing lanes and clog them passing lanes up so he can't see over or he can't just get the quick pass out to those weapons that he has.
Hey, what's your assessment of Brian Johnson so far as a play caller?
He's learning. That's all I'm gonna say. He's learning. He showed great sense of what he needed to do against the Minnesota Vikings, where he said, "All right, we're not gonna pass it. We're gonna run the ball. You're gonna drop all these guys out." And I was shocked because we didn't do it against the Jets, because that's what the Jets did. Yep. They dropped everybody, and so all right, you beat us, Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? But instead, he didn't run the ball. And we're talking about a defense that's ranked 29th in the NFL. How do you not run against a defense? You know why? And I told you it was a double-edged sword, because they had 4 DBs that were out.
Yep.
And we're gonna use our weapons against. We're gonna pass the ball, and you totally didn't use our biggest strength, and that's our offensive line, teeing off on them, especially with the starting right tackle not being there. Yep. Let's tee off on them. Let's hit them in the mouth, and let's play some run football. We'd have won the game instantly then. It wouldn't have been close, because we're teeing off, we're going forward, and we'll wear them down. And it wouldn't have been close then, So I just think that he had a great call against Minnesota, but he dropped the ball against the Jets.
Yeah, and Barrett, you pointed out, we were talking about this earlier. Like, if you're Driscoll and you see that he's struggling in pass protection, man, see what it looks like, at least with running it, a little bit heavier. I'm sure you guys much prefer run blocking than pass blocking. You're on the attack. It just didn't make any sense.
Bro, Rob, I'm going to say this is almost like me cussing. 14 runs with a running back.
Yep.
in the game.
Yep.
That is a travesty. That's like cussing me out.
Mhm.
We ran the ball 14 times,
Yep.
a running back against the Jets, which defense was ranked 29th on stopping the run.
Hmm.
I almost threw up in my mouth, bro. I can't believe that.
I can't believe it
You
either.
kidding? Are you kidding me?
Hmm.
I was so mad. My clothes wasn't touching me nowhere. I was hot as fish grease, man. 14 times. I get mad thinking about it.
I haven't got a hot as fish grease in a while. I needed it, man.
Oh,
It's been a long time. It's been a long time. That's awesome.
That's ridiculous. We got a running back that can easily get 100 yards and Swift.
Mhm.
Easy. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with you. Yeah, it's you know what? It felt like the old Andy would lose his mind sometimes. Andy Reid run like crazy, get back to run. I mean, pass like crazy, get back to running it, and everything would straighten itself out. It had the same feel to it. It really did.
It absolutely did. and it didn't make any sense. And I'm surprised that the offensive line didn't go over there and cuss him out. I mean, yo, man, what's going on? Yo, hey, come on. I mean, Kel just cussing about that the week before.
He was.
And then you drop the ball the next game.
AB, they used Swift in a running feature 28 times in one game. But I've said for a guy like that, you keep him running at 15, 18 range touches. And I don't necessarily mean just runs, but touches, period. Because you look at the damage he can do once he gets in open space. I don't want to see them overuse him. Now, there's games that you're going to have to ride him. But I think if you can keep him right in there at 15, 18, 20 touch, that's a perfect number for him and can still be very effective in his offense.
You're absolutely right, D-Gun. You're absolutely right. But I tell you what, this last game, didn't have to take a shower at all.
Yeah.
Boston Scott shower at all. They didn't sweat because they didn't run the rock, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. I mean, they didn't have to take a shower. They went, took their pads off, and got straight into their street clothes because they did not run the ball. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even take a shower. All they had to do was brush their teeth and got on the bus.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah. Yep. Barry, you're getting a lot of love from the friends in the chat. They love seeing you, my man, and we love spending some time with you. It's awesome, and by the way, you're crushing it, man. You're doing a great job on NBC Sports.
Always.
Philadelphia, and looking good. He's GQ, but you can check him out on Twitter and X at bbrooks72 NBCS. Barrett, so tell me everything you're involved in pre and post there, and what else? You got other stuff going on as well?
First Huddle from 6 to 6:30 on NBC Sports Philadelphia. I do Eagles pre-post game show for NBC Sports Philadelphia, but I also do on the weekends. I do college football. This weekend I will be in Cincinnati. Bearcat. That's in that game Saturday. Be on at 12 o'clock Central Time. So
okay,
yeah,
all right.
I had to remind him who I was, Rob, when I talked to him this morning. Just to make sure he didn't forget my name and stuff. See, I'm just saying.
Man.
What do you call you, Daryl? I think he called you Daryl.
Yeah.
Daryl.
I mean, not Dennis. Derek. I mean, what are you talking about, man?
All right, Brooksy, you're the best, man. It's good seeing you as always, my friend. All right.
Be good, bro.
Take care, B. All right, brother. Thanks.
I said, what's up?
Yeah, we all the best, pal.
Will do.
He is a great human being, man. That's my guy, Barrett Brooks. Always give great insight. So I needed a fish grease reference. We hadn't had one in a while, D-Gun. So we got one.
We missed the out, though. We didn't get the out.
Yes. All right. So let's